Welcome to Dear Friends
and Dead Ends Podcast.
My name is Ashley.
My name is Cody.
Cases may contain graphic material as well as explicit language. Intro music, Welcome to the Hell Zone by Spooky Black Vague 003 Remix.
No, you gotta bring it closer to your face. I think it was on your face. You should bring it closer.
No.
No, not gentle. No.
Wait, are we recording now?
We are. We're just super fucking weird.
All right. No, I was doing that so then you can sync the stuff up.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, so like a visual cue.
Well,
No.
that and the if you have the waveform up when you go to edit it, you'll be able to see those like clap, clap, clap. It'll be a very sharp peak.
Clap, 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 you say.
Yes.
Okay.
Clappers.
We're just still hunting for Topaz, guys. Still hunting. One day we'll find her.
I hope we don't.
Yeah, we really don't know much about her. She might not be worth finding, but I think Maurice thought so. That's what I think. I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to go over real quick. Other than the fact that the audio keeps driving me absolutely fucking nuts. And for anyone that it's bothering, I guarantee you it is bothering me way, way more. It's driving me nuts, but we're definitely working to get it fixed, get it right. We have someone who actually does audio. How would you phrase it? He's a DJ, basically.
Well, he's a DJ and he does record mastering.
Okay.
So like he puts the final touches on shit and makes it sound just like. Mwah.
So he's gonna help us figure out whatever the fuck we're not doing correctly, which is pretty much every decision we ever make. But for the podcast, we're trying to make that better. Anybody that deals with us in our personal lives, no promises at all. All right. Dude, I don't even know.
Know what?
I don't know about anything. Like I thought I was going to say stuff and then I don't have my sheet and I fucking forgot. Thank you to anyone who joined us last night for our Instagram live. We really appreciate it. It devolved really quick into a lot of different things, but it's really more of a hangout. It's less structured. So it's just us hanging out, talking. You can suggest like different things as far as, I should probably talk into my mic. As far as like different conspiracy theories that you want to do, any ideas, any cases that you want to send us, you can send us as well. Anything that's really underreported is what we usually go for, because we don't want to do all the same cases that you hear 1,000 times over by all the other podcasts. Like we want to talk about the things people aren't talking about, because that's how they slip through the cracks.
Well, like the other thing is, I have a terrible time paying attention to things just in general. So things that interest me more are gonna keep me on topic slightly better.
Oh, you mean just like the conspiracy?
Like a little bit.
Yeah, global warming is not a fun topic.
Global warming isn't like exciting, but I still had a lot of fun last night just talking about stuff and interacting with a couple people that we had. Like it was super fun.
I think it's going to get better the more that we do it, the more people that tune in and the better topics that we get. Because there's some that we have to do that we don't really want to do, but it's a conspiracy theory. So we have to talk about it. It's part of the whole deal. And I'm blindly choosing them, which also another weird fucking coincidence is that it happened to be Earth Day and I chose global warming, which is really annoying because it seems like it's staged and it's not.
Feels rigged, Ashley. I'm not sure how much I can trust you any longer.
Okay. I'm heartbroken.
That's it.
All right, cool. So thank you for being patient with us, guys. We really appreciate it. We also want to thank Amanda and Kristen for believing in us. Yep, that's the Patreon theme song.
I'm sorry, that's what you got for your money.
Maybe we're not the only ones that should make better choices.
No refunds.
Just kidding. Do not leave us. Do not leave us. Our ego needs this.
Guys.
Don't leave us. Okay. So I thought I had things to follow up with, but I really don't. So I can just go into my case and we'll just get started if that's cool.
Goddamn right.
Cody cannot pay attention. Okay. So mine is about a child, and some of it is disgusting. And you'll understand what I mean by that. And some of it is just your typical heartbreaking missing child and all of that.
Okay.
And the disgusting part, I don't know if this is a prank or if this is like a serious thing. And I'm going to get into it, but there's an aspect of it where you're going to want to not be eating, I think. Okay.
Unless you're a sick freak.
Which is probably all of you assholes. So, get ready. All right. So I am doing the case of Nyleen Kay Marshall. And I think originally her last name was Briscoe, but her mom remarried, and therefore she took her stepfather's last name. She went by Kay, which was her middle name, but a lot of people didn't know that. So I'm going to fluctuate between Nyleen and Kay. So those are both still the same person. So this actually
her middle name was literally K,
like Kay.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought.
Okay, yeah, like Kay's Jewelers. So she disappeared in, I think it's, oh no, is it Helena? I think it has to be Helena, Montana, because I think it's Mount Helena. Am I right? Either way, if
Helena.
I'm wrong, I'll hear about it.
Helena.
Yep, that's only helping. Okay. So Nyleen was born September 18th of 1978, and she went missing June 25th of 1983. She was only 4 years old. So she was super young, and they were in a national park, because I'm very fascinated by the national parks disappearances, I gotta tell you.
God damn.
Especially the ones where...
If you take away nothing from this podcast, don't go into national parks, it sounds like.
Yeah, just don't fucking go in the woods.
Oh, go in the woods. Go in the woods alone, but not in a national park. Just like on the side of a highway.
I'm glad you're laughing at yourself. It's wonderful. It adds character.
Yeah.
So she was 3 feet 2 inches tall. Cody, secret handshake. All right, moving on.
Uncalled for?
What?
Uncalled for?
Yeah. So it was about 4 p.m. on June 25th of 1983. Nyleen was with other children. They were all playing near the beaver dams on, I think it's Maupin Creek. It's Maupin, Maupin. The others with her, they had somehow gotten ahead of her. I don't know if they were walking to some place in particular, but they happened to be in that area, and I guess she was lagging behind. I mean, she was 4 years old. They were probably all a little bit older than her, because I can't imagine she would be the oldest and maybe leave them all alone. So they had turned around and Nyleen had vanished.
Okay.
So you're like, maybe she tied her shoe, maybe she got distracted. You never know. I researched these cases. I researched these cases like weeks and weeks in advance. That way I have a bunch to choose from. So it's not super fresh in my mind. I wrote, basically, the national parks are just nature's discovery zone. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
Dude, the discovery zone was the shit.
Oh, for real, it was. But I have some bittersweet memories. My dad used to take me. So
oh, yeah, that's a problem.
And sometimes he didn't show up. So what is the fun?
Wait, to take you or to pick you up?
All of the above. Okay. No. Okay. My mom would actually meet him wherever we were supposed to be, whether it was Chuck E. Cheese, Discovery Zone, what have you. And we would be waiting in my mom's truck, and sometimes he didn't show. Alcohol. Am I right?
That's terrible, but it wasn't like he was your ride home. You weren't stranded at Discovery Zone, right?
That happened at elementary school, actually, on my birthday.
That's fucked.
No, it's funny now, but I think I was turning 8. It might have been 7, but it was my birthday, and all the kids drew pictures because they would put it into a book when it was someone's birthday, and you take it home and you'd have it forever. And my grandfather was supposed to pick me up from Mount Harmony Elementary, and he thought I was taking the bus. He was supposed to pick me up, and he didn't, and the bus left, and I just ran back to my homeroom crying, like, nobody picked me up, like blah 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 blah. So that was my birthday.
They've only gotten better from there.
Sometimes. Oh God, now I just thought of that. We're not going to go there. So mostly better from there. Anyway, nature's discovery zone. All great things. What? God damn. And then I wrote, you turn around and they're trying to suffocate themselves in the ball pit. Like, I don't know how that relates to nature. But that's literally just children.
That's for sure Discovery Zone.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Chuck E. Cheese. And then like in the world of like COVID, you think of all the germs that you never cared about that are on all of them. And then it just horrifies you. It's like, oh, nope, no thanks.
Like the meme that I think has made me laugh the hardest through this entire thing was, remember before COVID when we'd go to the bowling alley and stick our fingers in community balls and then eat food with the same fingers like God couldn't touch us?
Oh God, that's so true. And like, you didn't even think to wash your hands. You're like, nah, it's fine. They sanitize these things. It's fine. Yeah. They don't, because you are the one that literally puts them back. Okay. So just be aware of your surroundings if you're out in nature, especially if you're by yourself, especially if, I don't know, there's a steep drop off anywhere nearby. Super important.
Yeah. Be aware of any cliffs you're near.
Yeah. And like, look around. You may not know it's a cliff, but it sure could fucking be a cliff. Okay. All right. And then, so we immediately go into investigators were searching the campground where Nyleen had been playing and kind of staying with her family. There was one individual that had been seen in the area. And it bothered me. It pisses me off so much that these creeps just exist. And then they just happen to prey on one particular moment where a child is left alone or they're kind of behind the pack. But it was a man wearing a jogging suit. It was the 80s, so I'm imagining neon colors. And this is the person that happened to be in the area that day. I'm guessing he was probably alone. And he probably knows what happened, although we can't guarantee that. He even spoke to the child at one point, according to some witness statements. Gross. So not good. So there also happen to be abandoned mine shafts that are in the area as well. They did their best to search them. They could not find Nyleen. And this is when we fast forward to November 27th of 1985. This is over 2 years later. So she's now about 6 years old in theory. So 2 years had gone by when an anonymous phone call comes into the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. It's a man on the line claiming to have abducted Nyleen. And it's only going to get fucking weirder. Okay. And that's all he says, apparently. So he just claims that they don't go into, they don't go into much detail because there's some letters that are going to be sent, and that's when we're going to get into more of the details. So it's now 2 months later, and we're now in 1986 when a typed letter shows up in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So the person stated that they abducted a girl whose name was Kay. So I guess she went by her middle name. So that's what they went with. Inside the letter were details never given out to the media or the public.
That's a problem.
Yeah, immediately you're like, oh, okay, this seems
Yeah.
way more credible. The writer spoke of working from home due to investment income. Fuck off right there, is what I gotta tell you. Fuck right off. You're bragging about being one of the elite. Get the fuck out my face.
Bro, if I can make it big on this GME stock,
Mhm.
no one will ever hear from me again.
You promise? I mean, I'm sorry.
Yep. Yes, I do.
I'm sorry. Okay. So
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna...
yeah, me and my depressed cup noises over here. So I'd put that I hope he made a bad investment and got screwed over in the 2008 recession. Actually, you know what? I hope he never made it to the 2008 recession.
Wasn't
Actually.
like Enron a thing too?
Oh yeah, I hope he was caught up in that too. Fucking freak.
What a dick. He's just hanging out in a fucking tracksuit in a national park and being like, I make good investments.
Basically, it's like either you're full of shit and you got some guesses right about the case and you're a piece of shit, or you actually did it and you're a piece of shit. There is no winning here. Either way, you're a piece of shit. So this person says that they are a frequent traveler between the US, Canada, and the UK. They said they loved and cared for Nyleen Kay. Her family missed her, but they loved her too much to return her to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Gross. The letter came from Madison, Wisconsin. An anonymous caller also said that they were responsible for the letter. They called multiple times to, I think it's called Child Find of America. It's a nonprofit in New York. Why are you making that face?
I told you I like to just make intense eye contact sometimes with the camera because it's what the people want.
Thank God there's a glare. Okay, so can you stop? There was a child that was abducted. Okay. So when tracing the phone calls, they of course came from phone booths.
Mhm.
Some money.
No, I was just thinking about my incredibly poor timing.
Which part of your life, though?
Hey, all of the above.
Okay. All right. So one of the phone booths that the anonymous calls came from was near a pharmacy in Edgerton, Wisconsin. So also the phone calls are coming from Wisconsin, as well as this letter. Unfortunately, the context of the calls and the letter indicated Nyleen was likely subjected to sexual abuse. So yeah, this is where it gets, it's not going to get better.
That's unfortunate.
Here, and there are some excerpts that they release. All right, this is what they've written. All I could tell them was she was okay. I hope Child Find can get the following back to her family. I picked Kay up on the road in Elkhorn Park, the area between Helena and Boulder. She was crying and frightened, and as I held her, she was shaking, and I decided that I would keep her and love her. I took her home with me. Like, she's not a puppy. You don't just find a child and just take them home and be like, I'll take care of you. I love you. Like, it's not Doug from Up. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no. If I see a kid like by itself in a store, I'm just like, who does that belong to? Someone come get that. I'm not going near it.
I mean, that's probably good. You'd probably scare the child, but also good call.
So I have a really fun story about a kid that took a liking to me at the zoo, but I don't feel like this is the time. But at some point I need to tell that story.
See, I'm incredibly curious, so I want it to be the time, but I agree with you because we are professionals. Not the time. Not the time. Maybe next episode. Write it down. Okay, so
Not going to.
I will write it down. All right, so it continues. I have a nice investment income and I can work from home. So I care for her myself all the time. In parentheses, fuck you. That's what I have to say. Fuck you. Find a desert. Make sure you won't set anything on fire. Set yourself on fire. It's the 2-step program for people like you. Okay, moving on. I have no sympathy. So it says, I teach her at home and she likes to go with me when I travel. Great. Her hair is short and curly now and she is really grown. She is about 45 inches and around 50 pounds.
She likes to go with him when he travels?
Yeah.
He can just leave the fucking country with a random kid he doesn't have any paperwork for?
For one thing, this is back in the 80s, so probably fake shit a lot easier than you can now. So they go on to mention that she has 4 permanent teeth and she has a proper hygiene routine. She
has 4 permanent teeth.
Like her adult teeth have come in, meaning she lost her baby teeth.
Oh, okay. Now, okay. That makes way more sense. I was like, what the fuck? This kid only has 4 teeth?
I love how this is like the part that confuses you. Permanent teeth? 4 permanent teeth?
Wow. Why does this child only have 4 teeth? This is a travesty.
This actually takes place in Alabama. Fun fact. Just kidding. So
wait, do you know why a toothbrush is called a toothbrush and not a teeth brush?
Is this a joke?
No, for real. Do you know?
No.
Because it was invented in Alabama. Woo!
Was it actually?
No, it's a joke about how they only have 1 tooth in Alabama.
Cool. I love how
I hope that our listeners in Alabama brush their teeth.
How about everybody? Just brush your teeth. Good plan. Yeah. Especially Alabama.
Your permanent teeth. Oh.
Also, yes. Especially the permanent ones. You ain't getting no more. So take care of them. All right. It says that she eats well. Her favorite meal is pizza and cherry, which not together. So they say is cherry. Like, they don't say like cherry soda. But I think there's an actual type of soda named cherry that was out that way, and I think it's like a cherry cola type of thing. So I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure it's not? It's not cherry, like pizza and like a alcoholic beverage for this child.
It's not spelled with an S. So
is sherry spelled with an S?
Yeah, it is.
Huh. You'll learn something new every day.
Fun fact: the more you know.
I thought instead of CHERRY, I thought it was just CHERI.
Nope.
All right.
It's just the way you spell a name. Okay. I think that's Cherie, honestly. Either way. They mention their travels to various cities. There's another excerpt I can't bring myself to read, partly because it's gross and also it's confusing. Okay. All right. So
hold it up to the camera. I'll read it.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna paraphrase what it says. Basically, it mentions semen, and the fact it's the fact that no actual molestation has occurred. It's a spoonful of semen, and I don't want the specifics because it will probably just enrage me. But they mention that they give her like a spoonful of semen.
That is the exact opposite of a spoonful of sugar.
It's gross. It's pretty fucking gross. So, and then they just like continue on like it's nothing. And then they go on to mention her sweet temperament and how comfortable and adjusted she is. They mention her laughter and the fact that they just can't seem to let her go. Like they can't imagine life without her or whatever the fuck.
I cannot imagine finding anything in the woods that I'm like, for the rest of my life, I need this with me.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
I'm just saying, like,
That's good.
oh, maybe a raccoon though.
If it's a baby, you have a better chance. Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd love a
Perhaps.
raccoon.
Perhaps a raccoon, but not a child.
Oh no, definitely
Obviously,
not a child.
we would all do the proper thing and alert the authorities, find the proper avenues to reunite the child with their family, and like this fucking weirdo
Has to walk at least 30 feet ahead of me. Like that kid's not blaming shit on me. I didn't do nothing.
Not behind you,
Walk
because we all know what
walk
fucking
way
happened
the
with
fuck
that.
up there and tell me if you see any raccoons I need to take home.
That's a
You're
good one.
going to the police station.
Yeah, remember with the Bobby Bizup case?
Nope.
That's the one where the counselor was walking ahead of him. He was partially deaf.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember that one.
And he was like, no, I'll walk ahead. This will end well.
Man, I don't remember names worth shit.
No, you don't. So I don't understand the spoonful of semen. It's just like, you're right. It's the opposite of spoonful of sugar. It's the opposite of Mary Poppins, for sure. Nothing is good about that situation. There was a witness that came forward who said that they saw a girl matching Nyleen's description at a restaurant in Janesville, Wisconsin. Also, after the receipt of the letter, the caller claimed to have murdered Nyleen.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. So they said that they put her in a mine shaft near Helena. Though sealed, they searched it and they had no luck. So they did investigate that, and they couldn't find any sign of any child there. So I'm not saying that there's no chance she's there, but they did as much as they could to investigate it, and it didn't seem like that was coming up with anything. So Nyleen Marshall's case aired on Unsolved Mysteries in 1990, and there was a tip that got called in as a result. Someone believed a schoolmate of theirs was in fact Nyleen. The student happened to live in Bellingham, Washington, and they were unfortunately, but kind of fortunately, incorrect. But the next best outcome happened when Monica, I think it's Bonilla or Bonilla, she was recovered. Monica had gone missing in 1982 in Burbank, California, and her father had kidnapped her. But because of this tip, they were able to find this child and reunite her with her family. So in a
shit! So it wasn't Kay. It was just a random other kidnapped child.
It was a different child that had been abducted.
What are the fucking chances of that?
Right.
That's terrible.
Right. I don't know if it was exactly that child or just another child there, but I'm pretty sure it was that child that they were talking about.
That's so fucked. Like,
yeah,
like, hey, let's give this one family some peace and resolution. And they're like, nope, but your other classmate Sally, she's been on the run for years.
Yeah, she's been on the run all her own.
Well, not on the run. She was
abducted. I mean, it was by her father, so I would imagine he hopefully treated her well, but that really sucks. And the fact that what they do to other family members in that process, because that they don't know where they are, they don't get to talk to them. It's just devastating all around. In 1994, the Marshall family moved to Japan, and it does not get any better.
Wait, the Marshall family?
Yes. So Nyleen's mom and her stepdad. So in 94, they moved to Japan. In 1995, Nyleen's mother was actually murdered in Mexico.
That's not in Japan at all.
It's not, but also that happened. I mean, this poor family, I don't understand.
That's super fucked.
It's, yeah. That this whole family, there's just too much that has gone on. It's really not good. In 1997, super weird thing happens. So it happens from NOLA, aka New Orleans. And there's a nurse working in a hospital that thought she spotted Nyleen and her abductor. So it's 97. She disappeared in 83. So she was 4, add 14. She would be 18.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
So wait, was the I killed her and threw her in a mine shaft thing just distraction?
That I don't know, honestly. Maybe so they wouldn't keep looking for her in terms
right,
of
like
alive.
she's dead in this hole.
So
like,
I mean,
let's go
maybe
down this hole, and then she's not there, and they're like, you tricky bitch.
it's possible. It's just super, like, who the fuck knows? Maybe they were telling the truth. Maybe she had been murdered the whole time, and they were just being really just heartless. But so this nurse sees a woman that she thinks is Nyleen and her abductor. The woman in question was about 19 years old. So depending on when was she born in September. So it's possible because the age actually matches up because she would have turned 5 that year. So this would make her 19. Yep. Okay. So the 19-year-old woman called herself Helena.
Named after the place you were abducted.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for a clue, maybe. Which would be a fantastic way to let someone know that, like, you know what I mean? That would be
fantastic. I see what you're saying. Like she was like, my name's Helena. Wink. And they were like, oh.
I mean, if that's what happened, then that would have been super helpful. So let's see. Helena, as she referred to herself, was being admitted for childbirth with an unidentified man. The woman said her mother may have been named Nyleen, but she grew up in another country. Also weird. The woman had no trace of a foreign accent. The hospital staff attempted to further question the couple regarding the identity and any kind of medical history about her before they, would bring her into the hospital and all of that. Just standard questions.
Right.
They left the hospital abruptly. So they immediately were like, no thanks. Home birth. We're leaving.
It honestly, it sounds like that could have been Kay, and she was like trying to throw down like hardcore hints. And he was like, fine, you can squat this thing out in the bathtub. Yeah,
basically. And obviously they left. I don't know if they maybe went to a different hospital where he was like, I swear to God, you say one thing. You know what I mean? Or if they were just like, she could have given birth anywhere at that point. We don't know. She could have not even been Kay, but so far it sounds pretty suspect. And
it sounds super weird.
Yeah. So these are the details that I have about her disappearance. I don't have anything more as to where she went, what happened. It's unsolved. There's no closure. So Nyleen went missing wearing a yellow t-shirt, shorts. She had no shoes or socks on, which bothers me a lot. But she's a child. This happened. She's in the park. I can't imagine going around.
They didn't even invent children's shoes until like 94, I'm pretty sure.
Swear to God, if anyone believes you, I'm gonna lose my shit. Okay. So she had some distinguishing marks. She had a mole above her left eyebrow. She had dimples. She had excess hair on her lower back for a 4-year-old, I guess. I don't know why that's important. She was right-handed.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was in the details. I kid you not. I love how they're like, yeah, let's describe her. That hair, though, that back hair.
I mean, in all fairness, like, I would imagine that's decently distinct. Probably. Like, she had this color hair, this color eyes. She was small. She has a dimply smile. It looks like a bath mat is taped right above her butt because it's so hairy. Like, I feel like that's decently descriptive and unique.
Yeah. So at the time she vanished, her upper left baby tooth was also chipped, but of course it was a baby tooth, so unfortunately that would have come out at some point. So not a long-term identifier, but some of those other things would be. Once again, if anything in this case rings a bell, if you think any part of this, if any of it sounds familiar, like you ran into her at one point, like anything at all that could be relevant to the case, please contact Jefferson County Police, and it's going to be 406-225-4075. This would have been in 1983. Even if it's your family member that thinks that they have some tip or clue, please don't hesitate to let them know. It could be super important. And that is the case of Nyleen Kay Marshall.
Yeah, that's weird. Especially, like, oddly enough, like the disappearance isn't like crazy weird,
right?
But just everything after is so strange. Especially that hospital
like
incident.
the whole,
that's fucking weird.
Like the spoonful of semen is
I did immediately try and block that one out.
I mean, I hope that's fake. I hope they didn't fucking do that shit, but who knows? It just, like, I don't even know.
That's pretty gnarly.
Are you cool if I pause it real quick?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. All right, sorry about that, guys, but we're back. And I know I mentioned in the last episode that I wanted to do something called Hopeful Headlines. And I do. Also, Ted Pundies, if you want to send those are cool too. But I want to start off the hopeful headlines with one that I briefly mentioned last week, but Cody and I had a conversation after we stopped recording, and I really wish we'd had it on air. And it's not going to be the same, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Yeah. So before we recorded last Friday, I happened to see this article. I think it was on people.com. And it was about a 4-month-old baby that happened to be rescued by the police, which is great. The baby survived. The baby's okay. But when you hear some of the details of this story, it's kind of comical. Because the baby survived, I think it makes it okay to have some of the funny moments. But basically, this is what I read. So I don't remember what town, city, state, anything. There was this woman who was going around the neighborhood ringing doorbells. Yeah, so people would answer the door, and when they'd get there, there was no one on the porch.
No one.
However, not a soul. However, a couple of them were like, okay, like the bushes just fucking moved. Like something's up. And I don't know that the bushes were like right in front of the house, or if they were like across the way. Like, I'm not sure where the bushes were in relation. It doesn't say, but I imagine there's just like one bush right in front of the porch, and they just happen to see like some crazed hair moving from the other side of the bush. So this happened enough times that finally someone calls the police, and they're like, can you come get this woman? She is ringing doorbells, and then she's ditching, and then you just see her behind a bush trying to hide.
Right.
And
like normally when you ding dong ditch, you like ring the doorbell or you bang on the door and then you fucking take off.
Yeah.
Like run down the street. You don't like jog for 6 steps and try and hide behind a tree or a Subaru.
Yeah. And when I finish the story, some aspects would make sense if A and B were in the same place, but they weren't. So eventually the police get involved. They come, they get this woman, they put her on like, I think like a 48-hour, 72-hour hold, because it's very concerning. And then someone that knew the woman or lived in the area was like, hey, she has a baby. And then everyone is like, what? No, she has a baby. Like this woman that's like playing tricks with the neighbors, doing God knows what, just like ringing doorbells like crazy. She has a baby. Where's the baby? And everyone's like, oh shit. So they're all searching the woods. They're looking everywhere for this baby. Thank God. I think it was a boy. Thank God they found this baby. But the baby was face down in the woods. Like, what the fuck? Face down in the woods. And thank God the baby was okay. Thank God the baby was alive. They had to take it to the hospital, check it out, like make sure the baby was okay.
At what level does your mental health have to be that you're like, whew, I'm really fucking killing it at Ding Dong Ditch. The only thing holding me back is this extra 12 pounds of baby I have to carry around.
I think the baby weighed more than that, but we're going to keep
this
going.
Extra 20 pounds of baby I have to carry around. I'm going to put it face down in the woods. I'll come back later. The police definitely won't get me.
I don't think she left the baby face down in the woods. First of all.
You think she rolled it down a hill? And it landed face down like a coin?
My God. No. No. Why are you laughing? What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Thank God I'm on this podcast, because mental health is not a joke. It can get pretty bad, especially if you are potentially schizophrenic, you have multiple personalities. Anything that could endanger the life of your child is very scary, because that baby could have not survived. However, thank God the baby was fine. In my opinion, I think she left the baby, hopefully like propped up, sitting on it, like next to a tree or something.
Oh, and the baby rolled over.
Yeah, and the baby tried to move to find her, probably freaked out because the baby was alone. And then I don't think the baby could maneuver that way. I don't think you're crawling.
That feels a little bit like victim blaming.
What?
That feels a little bit like victim blaming. It sounds like you're making it be the baby's fault.
You're making this a joke, but I'm not. So
have you ever seen the video of the people that are at like a festival or something, and they're sitting around on they're sitting around on a picnic blanket drinking, and the baby is like sitting on the picnic blanket and just like playing, but then it starts rolling down.
Nope. Sure
okay.
Haven't.
Well, yeah, it's not funny. I'll be honest. It's pretty upsetting, if anything.
Okay, so Cody is the type of person who is actually a really good person despite his laughter.
Yes, correct.
He's actually really is a really good guy. He typically makes sound judgments, and he's very caring for others most of the time, despite how he acts.
Absolutely.
He laughs at the most inappropriate things all the time. So he may be laughing, but he is not necessarily trying to. He just
obviously I'm not trying not to laugh. My whole thing is I would not be laughing if the baby was not found alive.
Right.
Now the baby has a great story for like kindergarten.
Yeah, I don't think they'll bring that up in show and tell, Cody, but like, I hope the mom is okay. I hope the baby is safe with the mom, if the mom has the proper medication that she needs or the proper therapy that she needs. But
what if she's just entirely sane? She's just a terrible judge of like what's appropriate or not.
Oh, I feel like there's some teen moms I could mention from MTV, but I'm not going to.
Right? Like,
I mean, I don't live their lives. I can't tell you why any one person is the way they are.
Farrah.
I'm not saying names. There's someone else I could mention, but I'm not going to. But the hopeful headline that I was trying to bring about is the fact that the baby survived, and the quick actions and quick thoughts of neighbors led to this baby being okay. Because if it had been overnight, the baby probably would not have been okay, especially depending on temperature and a lot of other things. But things like that you can send us, and I will do my best to keep Cody in check during these conversations. But that's just an example of a hopeful headline, is that the baby survived, the baby's okay. It could have gone a lot worse, but thank God everything worked out accordingly.
Yeah. I'm going to send you the video of that baby rolling down a hill, and I'll probably tweet it out if I'm being honest.
Yep. Can't wait.
Because it's very funny.
Your timing could not be worse.
Oh, well, mine's also about a child. So let's get into my story.
Good. Nice segue.
John Burlick was an employee of the O'Loughlin Stone Company in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Also in Wisconsin?
Yep.
Check it out.
Yep. Oddly enough, we didn't plan it. We just do weirdly unplanned coordinated things.
Telepathy.
Before his shift on March 18th, 1921, he thought he would take a walk around the pond that was close to the quarry.
Take around the pond. I'm going to do a take around.
Yeah, he's going to take a walk around the pond. I'm going to do a take around. As he was trying to clear his mind before a long day of strenuous manual labor, he saw what looked to be a child's body floating in the pond.
Oh, God.
He sprinted back to the Stone Company office, called the Waukesha County Sheriff, and 2 officials came out to take a look. So once... What the fuck? Hang on. Oh, there we go. Once pulled from the pond, notes were made of what turned out to be a boy child's appearance. Police thought him to be between the ages of 5 and 7 years old. He was blonde with brown eyes. He was notably small in stature, being less than 4 feet tall. I don't need anything from you. Otherwise, he looked healthy and without signs of trauma.
I mean, a child died, Cody. I'm not gonna subject them to your description.
Fair enough. But what truly caught everyone's eyes were the clothes that the boy was wearing. A button-up shirt, a very well-known brand of expensive sweater. So at the time, I guess there were sweaters made by the Bradley Knitting Company that were like wildly expensive. Underwear, black stockings, and patent leather shoes. He was dressed very well in expensive, high-quality clothes. And I don't know why, because I have seen pictures of what they said this child looks like. I could not stop picturing the little page boy in that Skittles berries and cream commercial.
What?
Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad that loves berries and cream.
All right, I'll look it up because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, there was a Skittles commercial that was like, it was just one of those weird, like, early 2000s commercials that I loved.
So this is not like a recent thing.
No, not at all. It was definitely when I was like in high school. But yeah, it was a hilarious commercial. Unfortunately, I could only picture the little page boy that loved berries and cream Skittles while I was researching this child's death. I could have probably phrased that better. This caught the attention of newspaper reporters. At the time, there was a wildly popular children's book written by Frances Hodgson Burnett. This story featured a lavish character, which the mysterious body would be named after, Little Lord Fontleroy.
That's quite a name.
Right? While writing my outline, I cannot tell you how many times I wanted to write Farquaad.
I mean, I can see how he would be like pretty close to your mind.
What happened to a kid died and you weren't going to make jokes about me being short?
It's not about the child, it's about you.
That's fair. All right. So this
Can you
was...
please get that outfit? Can you please get that outfit?
I mean, I might be about it. So this was 1921. Forensics still left quite a bit to be desired.
Well, yeah.
The police decided the boy had been in the pond somewhere between a few days and 6 months.
That really narrows it down.
Right. So somewhere between
Wait, what time of year was this?
March.
Okay, that makes sense
Yeah.
because of winter, and that makes sense. That makes
Oh, I
sense.
didn't think about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're saying it's somewhere between 3 and 160 days. The fuck?
Yeah, no, that
That
makes sense though.
that does make sense. Is that 160 days? 180 days. 180 days. Math. Um, the police need information on this child's identity. So the first thing they do is the first thing anyone would do. No, they did not put up posters. They actually put him on display at the local morgue and made a public announcement for people to swing by and take a look-see.
I would watch this on YouTube because the facial expressions going on right now sum it up more than words could express.
It's just I know that was a pretty common practice, but like
Yeah.
you find this little fancy boy dressed up in nice clothes in the pond. There was a picture of him, and it's gross. I mean, he's been in a pond for anywhere from 3 to 180 days. And the police are like, well, just put him on a slab, put him in the window.
God
damn. The police in this story are my favorite because
Wait, are they better than the Italian police or no?
they are not good at their job, but it's wildly entertaining. So eventually, a quarry worker named Mike Coker, Koker,
Okay.
gave the police a small bit of evidence. He said that 5 weeks before the body was found, a woman in red had been wandering close to the lake. This was the whole area was owned by the company, so it was very strange that just random woman is running around their pond, not lake. So Coker had gone to the woman and asked what she was doing there. She essentially came running up to him and asked if they had seen a little boy nearby. He said no, and then she rushed back to a car he hadn't noticed previously, and she got into the car, and a man who was waiting in the car drove her away.
Okay.
So it seems like this bit of evidence points to the kid being in there about 5 weeks, because they said 5 weeks before the body was found. So, I mean, it goes with reason that 5 weeks later.
If the kid accidentally drowned, right? Now it still doesn't make sense because he wouldn't go in the water when it's cold like that in those clothes. None of it makes sense. Like, unless he fell through ice or something like that.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know why you wouldn't involve the police immediately.
Well, they did. Well, no, not the woman. The people that found the kid did. But
no. Like, I'm talking about the woman.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, that's fucked. But so. Hang on.
This is a multi-beer episode.
Yep. All right. So, so this is where the police just go off the fucking chain. So some reports say that because of this, they assumed those are the boys' parents, which that's a reasonable assumption.
Like, maybe, yeah. No, that could buy it.
Two people looking for a small child.
Ooh.
It makes sense that those would be the parents, right? That's where the police seemingly began to start doing just fucking wild speculation. Okay? So right now, the only facts we have is that a young, well-dressed boy was found floating dead in the pond.
Correct.
A couple weeks later, after seeing his body at the morgue, a man named Mike Coker went and told the police that 5 weeks before the body was found, he saw a woman looking around the pond dressed in red. I don't remember why he said she was dressed in red, but that was like something he specifically remembered, is she was dressed in red looking for a young boy that should be nearby. Okay. So because one man said he saw a woman looking for this boy and drive away with a man, they came up with the following scenario.
Okay.
Okay. This is what the police actually said they thought happened.
Okay.
From that information alone.
Jesus.
Okay. So clearly, woman in red and man in car were married.
Okay, obviously.
All right. Man in car had decided that he wanted some afternoon delight.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't get down in No Pants Town with Little Lord Fontleroy just running around the place. So they told him to go outside.
Is it Fauntleroy or Fauntleroy?
Fauntleroy.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a hard to say name. So you can't get down to the funky business with
No Pants Town. You can't get down to No Pants Town.
In No Pants Town with Little Lord Fauntleroy around. So they told him to go outside and play. So while mom and dad are getting each other slicked up and inside of each other, the kid wanders down to
what the fuck is wrong with you?
What? That's what I wrote.
It's disgusting. Getting each other slicked up in the inside of each other?
That's what I wrote.
You for real thought that was a good idea?
I was in the zone, Ashley.
Discovery Zone?
No. So the kid wanders down to the pond, falls in and drowns. Tragic, but believable.
Okay, yeah.
And so at this point,
you really think the child is going to be not at all distracted by the noises?
That's why they told him to go outside.
Of the car. What?
No, they're not in the car.
Okay.
They weren't driving around the car and they were like, hey, don't look at the fogged up windows. No, they were at their house and told them to go outside and play.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't make that clear. So he wandered down to the quarry. It was the 1920s. You could.
Okay, no, it makes more sense.
You could cross fucking state lines and your parents aren't going to know.
Basically.
So that's a tragic situation, but it is believable. They told him to go outside. He ended up falling in a pond and drowned. But wait, there's more. So obviously, after her son comes up missing, the woman in red had spoken with Coker and then driven away with the man in the car. Clearly, she would be depressed. So she throws herself into the same pond and drowns herself. Okay.
Did they find another body?
They have absolutely no evidence to back this up because they can't even find this fucking couple.
Okay.
They can't locate the woman in red. They can't locate man in car. They cannot find these people.
And they also came up with the fact that she killed herself.
They were like, clearly, if your son dies, you kill yourself. She probably killed herself in the same lake.
Okay.
So they're sure of it. They go to the pond, they search around the tall grass and whatnot. They don't find shit. Right?
Obviously.
They have nothing to back this up. They don't find a goddamn thing. So, what would you conclude from that?
Obviously, that's not the right fucking theory.
Wrong. She must be stuck underwater. So the cops throw multiple sticks of dynamite.
What?
into the pond
No.
to see if they can stir up the woman in red's body. They're like, well, yeah, you're not going to like live after your child. So she clearly killed herself in this pond. She must be underwater because we can't find her in the shrubbery. So they throw a bunch of dynamite in this pond trying to stir up, like, you know, maybe she's under a rock down there. Maybe she swam down there and trapped herself under a rock because she was so
in a body part is just going to come
downtrodden,
flying to the surface or out of the water.
Like the dynamite will like push the rock off of her and she'll float back up.
Oh, surely it won't fucking disrupt the body. Surely.
So I can only assume that they just ruined the ecosystem of the pond because a body never came up. Much to the surprise of all of us, I know a body was never recovered for this woman.
How many fish died for their stupidity is what
and then apparently the cops tried to say, like, no, we got a tip saying that someone killed themselves in this pond.
Okay.
And they were like, well, but I mean, why would you think it's that person? And
I'm literally imagining like 1920s Reno 911.
That's what it sounds like, honestly.
Yeah.
So then the coroner finally does an autopsy after they take this poor goddamn kid out of the window at the morgue.
That's so ridiculous.
And
I mean, there was no internet, so I kind of get it, but also like you could have made flyers.
Yeah,
right?
just like
maybe,
hey,
letters.
Does anyone know of a missing child?
Someone could have literally drawn him and then like made flyers.
Yeah. So they do the autopsy and there's a gash on the boy's head and little water in his lungs. So even though initially when they pulled him out, like he looked nice and healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like well fed. It wasn't like he was like a weird little vagrant child. He actually had a gash on his head and there was little water in his lungs. So he was almost certainly killed before he was in the water. So all of their shit just goes up in smoke.
Right.
There's not much more than that. But it's just it's so goddamn insane. But one of the things that some people have theorized is that maybe it was a like rich kid that was kidnapped from a family and they were like, give us your fucking money. And they were like, no, we're good. We're just give us our kid back. And then they killed the kid and threw it in the lake.
I feel like there would have been more evidence though. You feel like someone would have come forward.
Yeah. So the final weird bit is in 1949. So what? That's like 28 years later, about.
Ish. It's at least over 20.
E.L. Theringer, a medical examiner from Milwaukee, put forth a theory that Little Lord Fontleroy was a child named Homer LeMay.
That name's not any better.
It's not. He thought this because that boy had gone missing in the same area around the same time.
Okay, that makes sense.
It makes way more sense.
No, I'm literally a fucking idiot.
What?
The child died. The child died. I'm like, oh no, there's this older boy running around that they think is him, which obviously makes no sense.
It sure
unless
doesn't.
he's a vampire.
That'd be dope as shit though.
It would be.
So they're like, maybe it's this kid Homer LeMay. So they go and they question the father about his son being like consistently absent all of the sudden all those years ago.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like if this dude did it, this is the most like fucking nonchalant way to get away with murder. So he goes, oh yeah, I allowed a family in Chicago to adopt my son.
What?
And they're like, so can you put us in contact with Homer? And he goes, Nah, see, like they adopted him, and then they're a real wealthy family, and they traveled to Argentina, and then unfortunately they sent me a newspaper clipping saying that they were in a car accident and my son died in it. And the cops are, you know,
This is literally a soap opera.
understandably going, wow, we're sorry to hear about your loss, and not to rub salt in the wound, but could we see the newspaper clipping? No, I didn't keep it. Oh, okay. Could we see the adoption papers? Yeah, I didn't keep those. So you have literally no evidence to back this up. I mean, I told you what happened. So
Jesus
if
Christ.
if I can just go back to what I was doing, that'd be fantastic.
Not everyone is cut out for parenting.
Looking at you, Casey Anthony.
Oh, we laughed, but that poor child. Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's everything. But yeah, the cops were
Jesus.
they're just like, well, I mean, of course his mom killed himself, so we better throw dynamite in this pond to see where she is.
I can't believe that was their genius idea.
Dude, that's fucking cool though. Like, I mean, not the kid dying. I mean, like being able to throw dynamite into a pond. Like that sounds like a good afternoon.
Not for the fish.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I mean, I'm not like one of those vegan people that is like ape shit about like, you know, fish and everything like that. But it just sounds very inconsiderate to the fish that are there.
I mean, it's
and the
like
aquatic life.
It's high speed fishing. You don't have to worry about reeling them in because they're all coming to the top.
You're really selling it. Really selling it. I mean, diving back then, I think I don't know how deep it was, but I feel like they had diving suits for the ocean back then. They weren't really sophisticated, but I feel like they could have borrowed one of those.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but no, because they're in Wisconsin. They're they're nowhere near the ocean.
Okay, so they can't borrow one of those things?
It would take, this is 1921. I'm pretty sure it took close to 3 months to move something from the coast to
trains.
Wisconsin.
They had trains.
I think they had cars at that point, didn't they? I don't know.
And trains. So they had cars. Yeah. Yes, they had cars also.
I don't know. None of the things I'm saying are true, except the things in the case.
Okay. That's your standard. So.
I'm not a history buff. Thank you. Not a fucking PhD in history over here, Ashley.
Are you a PhD in anything?
Nope.
Pretty height dysfunction. I love that you're not laughing. It's a good time. But you're adorable and very charismatic.
Yeah.
Right? That's what every man wants to hear.
I pack a lot of punch in this small package. Not small package. That's I seem to have shot myself in the foot.
No, it's all right. You just put some dynamite near your foot. It's fine.
Oh,
it's fine. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. So those are our cases this week, guys. And small packages. Sometimes it's dynamite. Sometimes it's really disappointing.
All right. I'm ready to go eat dinner.
I bet you are. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. This is episode 13 of Dear Friends and Dead Ends. I'm going to go over a couple things real quick. Don't forget you can DM us on Dear Friends Dead Ends Pod, which is on Instagram. You can send us case ideas. You can send Ted Pundies hopeful headlines that Cody will obviously misconstrue and just completely wreck altogether.
Oh, I gotta find that video.
Yes, you do. Also, you can find us on Instagram Live every Thursday night. We will be there this coming week, this Thursday that this episode comes out. And we are typically on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can join us for conspiracy theories. You can also watch the videos later. We do save the videos on there. But you can find the videos anytime that you want to, and you can watch them later if you can't make it. But also you can find us on TikTok, where I do case summaries and other stupid shit. And Cody, I'm going to get him to do some videos with me. But It's DFDE Pod. And what the fuck did you find?
It's just the video of the baby rolling down the hill.
Okay. All right. So, okay.
Oh, it's so great.
It seems it.
It's really going.
I think that's what we have for today.
All right, I got to get it off my screen. I'm going to keep laughing.
Yeah, for real. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, guys. We will see you next week for episode 14.
Wow. That's the one that comes after 13. You got it, Ash.
That's fine. That's fine. You're still short. So 0.1 for each. Okay. Anyway, thank you again, and we will see you guys next week and also on Thursday if you join us.
Please join us. Please. I need a platform so I can say a lot of things and you guys can take it to heart and we can start a revolution.
Also, our Patreon. Thank you so much to our patrons on there. I know we already mentioned them, Amanda and Kristen. But you can find us on Patreon. And I do want to mention this. This is what I wanted to mention. So once we get enough patrons on Patreon, Cody and I are going to do exclusive bonus content on there. And what I mean by that is we're going to do like multi-episode breakdowns of famous cases like JonBenet Ramsey, like Maura Murray. There's some other ones that we'll do, of course. But so there's stuff that's coming, and it's definitely going to be worth it if you guys decide to sign up, because we'll definitely have a lot of fun stuff on there for you. But I'll keep you updated as soon as we do that. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Cody, go eat your dinner.